Okay, so we grab out our sleeves. What do we know about our sleeves? That they're a pair. So we should have a pair of sleeves, which means I'm going to open him out, flip him that way, so he's a pair, right sides together. So I've now got my right sides together and I've got a pair of sleeves. We're going to do our underarm seam. It's that seam here on our body. Those two seams there, 1 centimetre. Put them together. Now what do we notice, what do we remember about our hem? What did we do with our hem? The magic T word, what was it? We trued our hem. So we need to make sure as we're coming around that shape, we don't just go in a straight line and ignore it. We follow the shape of our seam as we're going around it. So down 1 centimetre, turn him around, following that shape. If we just ignore it, our hem won't fit back. Okay. Let's do our other one. Side seams on top of each other. What do you notice though? What are you noticing about this top here?
It doesn't match up perfectly.
Okay, it doesn't match up perfectly on the what? On the cut edge. On that cut edge here. So here, on this cut edge here, it doesn't match up perfectly. But where does it match perfectly?
Seam.
At your seam line, where you stitch, your stitching line. That's where it matches perfectly. Not at your cut edge. The cut edge doesn't match perfectly because of the shape, the angle of the shape. But at your 1 centimetre seam allowance, yes, they do match perfectly. If they don't, your pattern making and your cutting's a little bit Okay, so that's, be mindful, you're not making the cut edge match perfectly. You're making where your stitching or your seam line match perfectly. Thanks, hon. And that goes for many, many seams that you do. Cut edge might not match, but your seams, but your seams will always match perfectly. And then when we overlock, what side do you reckon we put on top?
Front.
Front on top. How do we know our difference on our sleeve between our front and our back? Okay, 1 notch is a front, double notch is a back. So we make sure our front's on top when we overlock down those sides, and then we press that seam to the back, please, people. Go for it.